Welcome to LibTech Tools. I'm Rachel Hendrick. I'm the editor and publisher of Choice, and I'm here with Gary Price, the editor of InfoDocket and ARL Day in Review. And so today Gary and I are both radio fans, and I think we've got two different websites for radio fans. So go ahead.
Hey, Rachel, two resources to talk about today, both offering help in listening to streaming audio from not only here in the United States, but from around the world. The first one is called publicradiofan.com. To the best of my knowledge, this source has been around for, if not 20, very close to 20 years. The work of one man named Kevin Kelly. This tool will not only help you find public radio stations here in the US and around the world, you can see those listed here on the left side of the page. But this page you can create an account that's free that you can customize and personalize, I should say, for where you live and the stations you're interested in. But in many cases, this resource will not only tell you a directory of stations and of podcasts, so your favorite stations here, your favorite programs here, but will actually give you a minute-by-minute or hour-by-hour breakdown of what is actually airing on those particular radio stations. So as we record this, BBC Radio 3 has Afternoon on 3, KKJZ has Gardner's Question Time or Folk Alley, Jazz with David Benoit. So this is really a personalized link to public radio stations from both here in the US and around the world. So here, for example, you see stations at BBC from the UK and of course the CBC from Canada. So it's a wonderful resource, personalized, all of that type of thing. The other resource is one of my favorite things. I'm a huge, like you said, we love streaming radio. The idea that you can listen firsthand to radio stations from around the world can often provide a perspective of the world that you don't get by just listening to one type of media, let alone the same thing for stations airing local music. So this is worldradiomap.com. It's global in scope, and it really is the opportunity to browse a virtual tuner, if you like, of stations from across the country and around the world. So let's pretend we're in Vienna, Austria. I can click here. And now, just as I would be looking at the radio dial in Vienna, obviously these stations are broadcasting for most likely in Austrian, but just as you would scan the dial in these countries, you can scan the dial on Public Radio Fan, and with one click, if you see the little speaker icon, with one click, it will open up and allow you to listen to that station live. Pretty straightforward. So let's go back to the homepage and let's just pick a station here. So let's pick my hometown of Chicago, where I can actually speak to a lot of these actual radio stations. But as you can see, so we're browsing the FM dial first, from a great station that plays oldies, to a station from the University of Illinois, Chicago, so on and so forth. One click if there's a little speaker icon to listen, so we can continue to scroll through. The other thing, for those of you who are interested in broadcasting, now we get to AM stations, by the way, but for every city, every country, and so forth, to give you information about where the stations are broadcasting from. So, for example, in Chicago, 875 North Michigan is the John Hancock Center, the Willis, aka Sears Tower, where a lot of transmitters sit. Further on, you get links to broadcast organizations in that geographic location. So, for example, here in Chicago, the Illinois Broadcasters Association. So both of these resources are excellent for allowing you to listen to both public and commercial stations from both here in the US, but also around the world. Publicradiofan.com, which is right here, and worldradiomap.com. Thanks, Rachel.
That's so cool. Thank you so much, Gary. I put a plug in for my favorite radio station from Long Island, WLNG. They play the best music, and they're always sort of looking over the South Bay in Southampton. And I'm just thinking, like, that's such a great place to live. So I'm going to go look them up. Thanks so much, Gary.
Thanks, Rachel.